and welcome to my channel, A Country Life. I'm Jennifer, and today I have a cooking vlog for you. I am cooking up some of Grandma's food. This is a great recipe if you are doing, let me tell you what it is first. I am making mock chop suey. This is a fantastic recipe to add to, like, cook for a day, eat for a month kind of thing, or where we just have a really big cooking day. This is an excellent recipe for that. One really big onion. Now I am going to dice up all of the celery. I have ground venison here. I say this all the time, it says ground beef, but it isn't. I just bought the cheaper packages. This is ground venison. It's exactly 2 pounds. I am going to cook all of that up in my Lodge enameled cast iron. I really like those. This isn't sponsored by Lodge or anything. I haven't tried any other brands out there. Just we tend to buy our cast iron from Fleet Farm, and the brand they carry is Lodge. And so when I told my husband a couple years ago that I'd like one of those, that's where he got it. So I have 2 of them now, and I use them all the time. As the meat cooks and it steams up, that steam collects, it condenses on the lid, and then it kind of falls back into the meat, keeps the meat nice and juicy. If you're familiar with cooking with venison, you know that sometimes it has a tendency to be a little bit drier because it's not a very fatty meat at all. So I really like cooking it in here. Okay, so I put the meat in, and then I have all of my onion and celery. I don't normally grab it with my hand because it's easier to just pour it in, but just so that I can show you what I'm doing, I'm just going to put all of it in here at the same time. If you happen to have a little bit of bacon grease that you can fry this up in, that tastes extra special. That's what the original recipe, probably from the 50s, calls for. I don't have any right now, so I'm just going to use a little bit of lard, just a tablespoon or so. When it starts to cook, it kind of gets that nice brown color on the bottom. If you are cooking some recipes that maybe are an old-time recipe and you're just not getting the flavor that you're looking for or that you're used to, try cooking in a little bit of lard, bacon grease, shortening, something like that. Cook it a little extra long before stirring it and let it get that little bit of a brown crust on the bottom of the pan. Then when you add in whatever the liquid is, it'll loosen up those brown bits, and those add a lot of flavor. All right, everything is in there. I'm just going to put the cover on. I have it on kind of medium-high right now. I think I'm going to turn it down just a tiny bit. I'm going to let that cook away, opening it up just every once in a while to brown the meat nicely. In the meantime, I'm going to get together the rest of the ingredients here. The water, cream of mushroom soup, rice, chopped suey sauce, which I've always just used soy sauce. I really don't know if there's a difference between chopped suey sauce and soy sauce, but if there is, let me know in the comments. Maria are binge watching Dino Dana right now on Amazon Prime. They played really hard this morning, just playing all kinds of made-up games. I told them that if they cleaned up the living room, which they did a great job of, that I would let them watch Dino Dana, which is one of their favorites. So they are binge watching that. So since I have a little bit of time right now, and I already have my knife out and I already have my cutting board out, I am going to slice up celery, and I'm going to slice up some carrot sticks, and I have green peppers and cucumbers. So I'm going to get all those sliced up just so we have some fresh veggies to snack on today and tomorrow. I like to try to do those kinds of things when I'm already cooking to save a little bit of time. So the meat is all cooked up, the veggies are all tender. I'm just going to get some salt and pepper. You can see on the side here, the pan is starting to get this browning. That actually is kind of the beginnings of the meat browning on the bottom too, and that's what's going to give it a lot of extra flavor. All right, I have everything in. I'm also going to put in 1 cup of water, and And I know I just used canned cream soup, and of course you can make your own, but for the most part, food on the table is more important than sometimes it being completely from scratch. So I take shortcuts whenever I can, just so that I can be sure to get food on the table, because that's what really matters to my family. Okay, I have everything stirred in. This is going to bake at 325 degrees for about an hour and 20 minutes, and then at the very end I'm going to take that off and I'm going to throw on a whole bag of la choy chow mein noodles. Then I'll put it back in the oven, just kind of let those crisp up a little bit. The full recipe will be found at my blog, www.camphomeschool.blogspot.com. I'll have a link to that in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Turn on the notifications bell if you haven't already, so you can be updated as soon as a brand new video goes live. Thanks everybody, and have a great day.